JJ Ramberg, and welcome to Your Business, where we give you tips and advice to help your business grow. Can you imagine turning down millions of dollars for your startup? Not once, not twice, but 3 times? Well, that's exactly what the founders of the mother company did. Today, we start the show with a Where's the Money that shows us sometimes smart money is better than more money.
Hi, Ken Huang, 2 kids, 4 and 2.
Rachel Jacobs RONN, 2 kids. Mia will be 6 on Saturday, and Jake is 3.
Todd SPECTOR, I have 2 kids, 5 and 2.
While at first glance, this may sound like a parenting support group, it's not. This is a meeting of investors who all have at least $10,000 on the line in a new venture called the Mother Company.
Thank you guys for coming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a brief investor presentation.
The Mother Company is run by Abbie, Schiller, and Samantha Kurtzman-Counter.
We're developing a whole line of products based in social and emotional learning for young kids. The backbone of that line is our Ruby Studio series.
Hi everyone. Welcome to my studio. I'm Ruby.
And then from that, we're making plush dolls based on characters from the show.
Abbie came up with the idea in 2008. She had the vision, she had the drive. What she didn't have was the money to make it all happen.
I remember selling things on Craigslist to pay for people.
So, like any ambitious entrepreneur, she set out to find funding. And despite doing this in the worst economy this country has seen in decades, she got a fantastic response.
I reached out to 3 different professional investors, and all 3 of them offered me more than double what I was asking for.
Money in the bank, right? Not in this case. Abbie turned them all down.
But I had to just trust my gut and realize that if this wasn't a good partnership, it wasn't going to ever be a good partnership. And I had to walk away 3 times from offers of millions of dollars.
Her gut was telling her that these offers were from people who just didn't get her concept. They may have had money, but in exchange for the cash, they wanted a lot of control. So, with Sam on board, they changed gears and started reaching out to people who did get the concept.
We spoke to them at school, at play dates, on playgrounds. We would open our laptop on the floor of my daughter's ballet class. We, pitched them at birthday parties.
The Mother Company started talking to, well, mothers.
To me, it seemed like a no-brainer. It was a product that I would use.
Julie HERMILIN met Sam through a social group they both belonged to. She became one of their first investors. Kim Hammer knew Abbie through an online moms group. When she heard Abbie was looking for money, her reaction?
How much? Because I loved what she was doing. You know, it's a piece that seemed to be missing in everything that surrounds children.
Todd SPECTOR learned of the investment opportunity through his wife.
She had opened her email, it was probably 6 o'clock in the morning in December, it was dark, and she said, "You've got to see this, you're not going to believe this," and it was just this unbelievable 90-second blurb.
The trick to getting all of these people on board was a combination of things. First, Abbie and Sam had passion.
I was always told by my father about investing, it's not necessarily the product, it's the person. It's not the business, it's the person. Because there can be 1,000 different businesses out there, but if you don't believe in the person running the business, it may or may not work.
Second, they knew what they were talking about.
Abbie and Sam's presentation was terrific, and they really were able to convey very quickly what they were trying to accomplish and what these lofty goals that they had were.
Third, they were creating a community.
It was great because it kind of felt like we were all friends and family, and that we were getting in on something special, at the ground floor, and it was a nice way for us to all kind of connect.
We reached out to people that we thought would work well together. It was really kind of like putting together a dinner party. Not everybody is right for that particular dinner party.
In chunks of at least $10,000, Abbie and Sam ended up raising nearly $500,000. And as important as the money, they recruited an advisory board, most of whom are available when typical advisors aren't. On play dates,
The experience of seeing it through stories, of seeing it through the animated segments that you have.
and at the park.
His biggest issue is sitting still.
And who serve as a constant focus group.
Our investor advisory board meetings are really productive because they are parents who are going through exactly the things that we want to address on our shows.
All of the investors have been clear. They've come on board because as parents, they truly believe in doing something positive for the next generation. But Sam and Abbie say while they appreciate the moral support, they know that in the end, this was also an investment decision. And they are aware every single day that there are a lot of people the mother company hopes to pay back.
Failure is not an option. We will be writing them a big check, and I will say, woohoo, mother company. We did it.
So while everyone might not be in a group of people where they all have an extra $10,000 to spare, there's definitely something to be learned from this piece about going to people who understand your business. Let's turn to this week's board of directors. Nell Merlino is the founder, president, and CEO of Count Me In for Women's Economic Independence. And Larry Chang is a managing partner at Volition Capital. Great to see both of you guys.
Great to be here.
And it's such an interesting piece because both of you deal a lot with funding small companies. What I loved is that this woman turned down millions of dollars. I mean, she was selling stuff on Craigslist and turning down money at the same time, but it turned out to be a great idea.
Yeah. Yep. Love the fact that she followed her entrepreneurial instincts and said, you know what, these professional investors are not for me. I'm going to find real advocates for my product and company, and went to parents. I think that's a great idea. And
a lot of people do this, maybe not in as kind of organized a way as she has, but it is really just angel funding. It's friends and family. She just had to look around for more friends and family. She was so businesslike about it. What do you think somebody needs to, do you have to be to that level, prepare this whole nice presentation? They had coffees and had friends of friends invite people to the coffees. Does it have to be like that formal?
I think it's a good idea to explain to your potential investors exactly what you're trying to do so everyone's on the same playing field. So I like the way that she did it. Even though they're angels, present a professional presentation on your company, tell them what they're getting into, and make it crystal clear.
Are you afraid at all that they're going to get too involved?
I think if you organize it properly and make the roles very clear, that you can avoid that. I think you have to make the roles clear and what you expect from them, what you're going to do, and what they're going to do. I think then you avoid that and not walking around, particularly in the mommy company, talking about that you have too much to do and those kinds of things, and inviting people into situations that you may not want them in. So I think you've got to be very clear about what you're going to do and what they do.
What about the idea of valuing the company? So you've got a bunch of people who are coming in, giving you money. What's your opinion on how you value the company at that point? Figure out what percentage to give them.
Well, the way you generally do it is you look at comps. So if there are other companies that you know of that are similar spaces that have raised capital, they can always serve as a benchmark. But if there aren't any comps, it's what the market declares. So you talk to your investors and talk about what type of ownership they're looking for and what you're willing to give up, and you try and find some common ground. That's the way it always happens.
It seems to me they were in a lucky position, and not everyone is going to be in a position where they can turn people down. But do you? Do you say, I'm crossing my fingers, this person doesn't seem to fit in, they're kind of going to be a pain later on, I got to get rid of them, not take the money even though I need it right now?
Taking money from an investor, an outside investor, is like a marriage. So if you don't feel good about it, do not get involved, whether it's institutional or individual. So I love the fact that she turned him down because her gut instinct said it's not right. This is a long-term relationship, so absolutely I think it was a good call.
All right, thanks so much for your advice on this.
Thanks.